Sharon Lavigne was born and raised in St. James Parish, Louisiana in 1950. Sharon was surrounded by social justice since an early age when her parents participated in the civil rights movements when she was 4. Mixed with her strong Catholic beliefs, created the foundation for her environmental activism later in her future. Some questions we will try to answer throughout this video are: how did being a woman play an important role in Sharon Lavigne's journey? And why does protecting the environment matter so much to her?
By the time Sharon was 18 and the civil rights movement was nearing its end, corporations began to construct these massive factories along the Mississippi River. At first, these jobs were welcomed to her impoverished community. Then a few years later, inexplicably, her neighbors began to fall sick and die.
As the years went on, I began to notice that my neighbors and members of my community were getting sick and dying of cancer, and the air smelled like chlorine.
More factories were built, and more people started to mysteriously fall sick. This 85-mile stretch of land along the Mississippi, including St. James Parish, became known as Cancer Alley. St. James Parish and many other communities along Cancer Alley are majority black communities with little access to health services.
Neighbors on both sides of me had cancer. They passed away. Friends, loved ones, my sister-in-law had breast cancer and she passed away. Just about every household that you would speak to in St. James have someone that was lost to cancer or have cancer now.
Unlike many other activists, Sharon Lavigne is not directly fighting for this. But this, her community is her environment. As a former special education teacher, Sharon has a deep connection to her community. She is fighting so that she and her neighbors can live without the fear of dying from cancer.
Sharon used what is known as an anthropocentric approach to combat environmental change. This means that she believes the way to bring about change and protect the environment is through people. This can be seen in how she organized her neighbors against Formosa.
Sharon didn't have experience as an activist, but in November 2018, when the Chinese chemical company Wanhua proposed construction of a plastics plant in St. James Parish, she mobilized her neighbors against it.
We had almost 20 people in the garage. I'm sitting up there directing the meeting, didn't know what in the world I was doing. The more they said there was no hope, the more something inside of me riled up.
The peaceful protest she led against Formosa consisted of marches, dancing, and lighting candles to honor the lives lost to cancer. The protest gained momentum and eventually caught the eye of national news stations, marking a tipping point. Sharon, with the help of her neighbors, was able to successfully shut down the $1.25 billion Formosa power plant. With this major success, she decided not to stop while they had momentum. Her strong Catholic beliefs helped to push her, as she believed it was God's will for her to do so.
But before Rise could hit pause, Formosa Plastics, a Taiwan-based corporation, announced its plan to build a factory a mile from Sharon's home.
We're gonna stop Formosa. I don't care what nobody say. The governor, anyone. I'm not afraid. God told me Formosa's not gonna do that to us.
Lavigne founded the grassroots organization Rise St. James in 2018. The goal of this organization is to combat the expansion of chemical plants. They advocate for clean air, water, and safer living conditions. To do this, Rise St. James focuses their efforts on educating the public and engaging with local and state governments. Since founding Rise St. James, Sharon Lavigne has successfully stopped the construction of over $9 billion worth of chemical plants and taught local kids the truth to the name Cancer Alley. As a black woman, Lavigne's identity placed her at the intersection of two marginalized groups, making her fight for environmental justice, for feminist and racial issues. On go.
Sharon gave a voice to her community who were unable to combat the massive corporations that slowly slaughtered them. Her work educated and inspired many other black and impoverished communities to stand up against injustice.
Sharon Lavigne continues to fight for the health and safety of low-income and marginalized communities. Today, she serves as a role model for environmental activism, demonstrating the power of community organizing. Her activism not only fought corporate power, but also challenged systematic racism and sexism, as these industries disproportionately targeted communities of color. Sharon Lavigne's fight for environmental justice is a powerful reminder that a person's courage can ignite a change. By standing up for her community, she not only protected the environment but also fought for justice and equality. Her story tells us that by coming together, we can overcome anything, even billion-dollar corporations. Her journey inspires and will continue to inspire many others.